Good morning. Welcome to the Rising Eagle Studios here at the Warrior Healing Center in Sierra Vista, Arizona. Today's date, I always like to make sure I check my watch so I get it right. Today's date is Friday, October 22nd, 2021. Hope everybody's having a great day so far. Hopefully you'll be able to join in on us if you have any questions for our guest today is Bill McCutcheon. Bill, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
And we're going to discuss a little bit about Bill's military service, and we're going to talk about service animals, and we're going to talk about the American Legion Post 52. We got a whole bunch of good stuff to talk about today. And we also have a very special guest, but I don't know if you can see him right now. This is Wally. Wally's down here. Right there. There's Wally.
Good boy.
And he is Bill's service animal and emotional support. And we'll get into that a little. Oh, there he is. What a sweetie pie.
Good boy.
He's so gentle, too. He really is. Yes. All right. So, Bill, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where's home? Where were you born and raised and all that good stuff?
Honestly, I was born in Tempe, Arizona.
Oh, so you're an Arizonan.
Third generation Arizonan.
Awesome.
My son is fourth. I went into the military up there, went into the Marine Corps up there in early 90s.
Okay.
Got out. 9/11 happened, and I ended up going into the Army after that to do what I could to help out, and that's where my deployments happened, was with the Army.
Where did you go to high school in Tempe?
Actually, I went to Brophy College Prep, which is downtown Phoenix.
That's a Catholic school, right?
It is.
Yeah,
it is. With the there was the girl side and boy side, and
right,
all that, with all the good sports, and had a good time with that.
They used to have I don't know if they still do, but they used to have a really great basketball team. They used to win state championships, and
that was right before I went there.
Yeah.
So that would be back in the mid '80s when they were just smoking hot.
Yeah. Okay, so you're in Tempe, and you graduated in what year?
89.
89. So what year did you enlist in the Marines?
90. Well, actually, December of 90. I signed the paperwork on the 4th of December.
Okay.
And I was shipped off the 10th of December of the same month. I was ready to go and get something going on with my life.
Now, when you went into the Marine Corps, where did you go for boot camp?
I am a West Coast Marine, so San Diego.
You went to San Diego.
Correct.
Okay. What was that like?
Well, it's very disorienting at the first couple, 3 or 4 weeks, the noise and the pace, but I think it needs to be done, especially nowadays, for these younger folks to understand that when you're told to do something, it has to be at a now. You can't do it on your own time. You have to do it right now.
And you can't question.
Correct.
Mine is not to question why. Mine is but to do or die.
Correct. Yep. So I think the Marines still are doing it correctly, but I'm hearing that sometimes they're getting softer.
So when you went into the Marines and then you went to boot camp in San Diego, what did you do for an MOS then?
My first MOS was bulk fuel, which is a terrible gig. You run around and pump fuel from bladder to bladder in the middle of nowhere. It's not very fun. You smell like JP8 all the time, and then went to combat engineering. That was later on, but blowing stuff up as well.
And where did you go for the training again? You were at boot camp in San Diego. Was your training there too, your AIT?
No. You have to go to a whole different school for the Marines.
Okay.
So once you're out of boot camp, you have to come back for a schooling called MCT, which is Marine Combat Training. It's a 4-week. It's a shortened infantry school. So our grunts go right from basic. They don't go to MCT. They go right into SOI, which is the School of Infantry.
Okay.
The other Marines, we go back to whatever, either East Coast or West Coast. We go back for a 4-week refresher on how to be an infantryman.
Okay.
Then we go to our MOS schools. I went right out to Fort Lee, Virginia for my MOS school, which is a Army
So how long is Marine boot camp for?
13 weeks.
So 13 weeks, and then after that, then you did what was the initials again?
MCT.
Okay, and that was another 4 weeks?
Correct. We had a week of leave in between boot camp and MCT.
Okay.
So we got to go home for a week.
Okay, and then after MCT, then you went to
Fort Lee,
Virginia.
For the MOS goal.
Which was, again?
Bulk fuel.
Okay.
And that was, I don't know, 2.5 months. That's been a long time.
And where was your first permanent duty assignment at?
I went right to the reserves after that.
Okay.
And then later on, I ended up going active. But I had a fiance at the time, and I did that instead of going active duty, which I kind of regret, but it was my decision at the time.
So when you went through the Marine Corps, then you were going to that for the reserves?
Correct.
I did not know that the Marine Corps had a reserve unit.
Oh, absolutely.
See, I'm learning.
Well, let's think about this. The Marine Corps reserves actually are the ones who handles Toys for Tots. That
Right.
is their big
Right.
thing. So you may not have heard of it as
I always heard of it as just the Marine Corps, right?
Yeah,
Right.
so that's who really runs the Toys for Tots.
Very interesting. So then you go back to your reserve station, which is where?
Phoenix.
In Phoenix,
Mhm.
Okay. And Mike Lawson, good morning, Mike. Thanks for joining us. He's got a quick question for you here. Wants to know, if I can add it, there we go. Were you in the bulk fuel unit in Tucson?
No, Mike, I was actually out of the one off of 35th and I-10 in Phoenix.
Okay.
But
Right.
I know which unit you're talking about.
Thanks for joining us, and thanks for your question. If you got more, bud, just pop them in there. We love hearing from you. So then you're back to your reserve unit in Phoenix, and
Correct.
then what's next? What happens?
Nothing happened, really. I mean, that was a dead time. There was no conflicts. There was no... I
Okay.
just did out my contracts.
Which was how long?
8 years.
So you were in for 8 years. Okay.
8 years. Got out of the Marine Corps, which, I enjoyed every minute of it looking back.
Right.
But it was just time to do something else. And then obviously 9/11 happened, and that's where...
And then that's when you enlisted in the Army then?
Correct.
Now, did you have to go through basic training with the Army?
No.
Because you'd already had prior service with the Marines?
Yeah, the Marine Corps is kind of a unique animal in the regards of if any of the other branches wants to come to the Marine Corps, they have to go through boot camp regardless.
Okay.
If the Marines go into another branch, they don't have to, unless there's so many years in between the two. So the only thing they wanted to do is take my sergeant stripe away from me.
Okay.
And I fought for that, obviously, showing all the schools I went to, the sergeant's courses and
Right.
all of that. So I was able to keep it and walked right in.
So when you enlisted in the Army, it was what year? It was right after 9/11?
Right after, so 2003.
Okay.
So not right after, but when everything started really.
And what MOS did you go into at that time?
Military police.
MPs. I wanted to be an MP. When I enlisted in 77, I got to pick my first duty station, and I picked Schofield Barracks, Hawaii. I'd never been to Hawaii, but it didn't turn out that way. But I went to Fort McClellan for MP training. Is that where you went?
No, I went to Fort Leonard Wood.
Fort Leonard Wood,
Yep.
because I know Fort McClellan is no longer open. Is it? I don't think it is.
I don't know on that.
Yeah, I think they closed it. So you were at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri,
Correct,
for your MP training, and how long was that?
Well, we went through a modified one because it's kind of weird. We weren't really there to be L&O MPs, law and order. We were there to get trained how to go to Iraq or Afghanistan and do personal security and route clearing.
Okay.
And busting in doors, stuff like that. So I only did one in my whole time. I only did one traffic stop as an MP.
Really? Okay.
Not very fun.
No.
It was, yeah.
And was that at Fort Leonard Wood?
That was at Leonard Wood.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And soon they sent us down to Polk. That was about a year later, less than a year later. They sent us to Polk, and we honed in our skills, did all of our ranges, did all of our, the first aid, all of the stuff you need before you get deployed.
Right.
And then we got the word that we're going, and that's what we did.
So you deployed out of Fort Polk, Louisiana then?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
That was actually after a deployment here to Fort Huachuca.
Okay.
Before I even got MOS queued. They needed folks to we were the last green suiters on the gate.
What's that mean?
The last Army
Uh-huh.
to work the force security on the, all the gates.
Right.
We were the last Army unit.
Oh, okay.
To do that here.
All right. And what year was that again? That was about 2004 or so?
I got here in 2003, and I was here till December, and then I went to Leonard Wood shortly after that.
And then where was your first overseas assignment?
Oh, Baghdad.
So you went into Iraq then?
Yes, I did.
What was that like?
Pretend you're sitting in an oven and somebody's throwing the beach at you. I mean, it's really, the weather is so...
Nothing like here, huh?
It's not even like Phoenix.
No?
I'd rather
Phoenix
be
is hot. Yeah.
But it's a pretty rough, just on the weather standard, it's rough. And then with all the other, issues, you have to put up the roadside bombs, the ambushes and whatever else.
Right.
The missiles going into our fobs and stuff like that. It's a rough gig.
Were the Iraqi people, though, they were happy to see you guys there? Were they pretty welcoming? And how was that?
I got a funny story on that one.
Sure.
Depends on where you go in the city.
Okay.
Certain roads you can go down and they're bringing their kids out to see you and wave at you. Some roads they bring their kids out to give you a different hand gesture.
Oh, wow.
Some roads you go down and half will give you one and the other half will give you the other. So it's
right.
The Shiites and the Sunnis, it's such a volatile thing that you just don't know what you're going to get, to tell you the truth.
And it has to be nerve-wracking for our service members over there, because when they're being approached by civilians, they don't know if they're bombers mixed in with the kids, because I know that the terrorists, they use any means necessary to try and attack. So
yeah.
But I respect our service members so much for going over there and everything that they've done, because what they did over there was also to protect our interests back home, so that we wouldn't have all that. We don't want another 9/11 happening on our soil ever again.
Yep, that's a fact.
Actually, 9/11 shouldn't have happened if we'd have had our guard up, but we didn't. So hopefully we won't let our guard down again. So then you're in Baghdad, and how long were you there for?
Wow. Just in Baghdad?
Yeah, just in Baghdad.
Just a minute over a year.
Okay.
Just a minute over a year, and I came back.
What's your downtime like over there? What do you do when you got downtime? Do you have downtime?
Most days we went out 10 to 12 hours a day on mission, depending. Then we'd come back. It's a mandatory workout for our... We were at the battalion headquarters. So it's a mandatory workout for at least an hour. Then you get some shower. And that's Monday through Saturday.
Okay.
And then after the shower, after you get everything like that, then you can go in and watch TV or go to make your phone calls, go to the PX, do stuff like that. Go get coffee at Green Beans.
They had a PX in Baghdad, huh?
Yeah, it was at, it was on Liberty, Camp Liberty.
Was it like set up like a tent or something, or?
No, it was a hard building.
Hard building.
It was a brick and mortar.
Okay. So, what was your rank at that time?
E5.
So you were E5?
Yep.
And after you were in Baghdad, where did you go next?
That was it. I called it a day.
And you had how many years in?
Just under 14.
14. Now, how does it work with your Marine Corps time, serving with your Army time? How does that mesh in for any type of...
There's not a difference. The only difference is reserve time compared to active duty time.
Okay.
Reserve time, you only get so many points for the weekends and the weeks that you are on active duty.
Okay.
For your drill weekends, you get certain points. For your 2-week annual training, you get so many points. And if you go on active duty for deployments or whatever, you get so many points. But besides that, everything meshes without you don't even have to worry about it.
So how many total years did you have then with Marines and Army all combined with 14?
Yeah, just under 14.
You didn't want to do 6 more and get the retirement, huh?
I didn't want to do 6 more deployments, which was looking how it was going. Because this was back in, because I got back in 2006.
Okay.
Because we went to training in 4, deployed January of 5, and I came back January of 6. And I'd done my job, and I was happy with where I was at.
Do you remember what year it was that we pulled out of Iraq?
Was it 4 years ago? 5 years ago?
2016?
I want to say it was 5 years ago.
Okay.
Honestly.
So had you stayed in, chances are you're right that you still would have been there for those other.
At least 3 of them, 4 of them.
Yeah.
If I made it.
Made a lot of good friendships over there.
People I still talk to.
Great. So you keep in touch with them, and they keep in touch with you,
as often as we can.
That's great. That's great. So you get out, and again, I just wanted to, for time preference, where are we at? What year are we in?
When I got out?
Yeah.
2006.
So we're 2006. You get out, and where did you go? Where was
home?
Home
was already here. I never left after deployment here. This was. It seemed like my town. It's a beautiful area.
The reason I ask is because when you said you were from Tempe, I was wondering why you didn't go back to Tempe, but I guess because you just liked it down here so much better. I know the weather, the climate.
Small town.
Yeah.
I'd never liked being on the US 60 with 1 million of my closest friends at rush hour. It's just not a good time.
It's turning into LA.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
And I got to say, one thing I just love about Sierra Vista and Cochise County is it's always been and always will be a military town, and the military around here are just like this with each other. The respect, the camaraderie. I just love it down here. It's a great community to live in and raise kids. And speaking of kids and family, do you have family that's here in Sierra Vista or in the area?
That family is a tricky thing. Some of your blood relatives really aren't your family, and vice versa. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
What's that saying about you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family, or something like that?
Correct. However,
yeah,
most of my family, I have some that live in Bisbee still.
Okay.
And some in Ajo, Arizona.
Okay.
And then the most live up in the greater Phoenix area. That's my mom, my grandmother.
Your mom is in Phoenix area.
Correct. She's out in Fountain Hills. My grandmother and my aunt are in Tempe.
Great.
My brother's up there. And
you have a sister in Texas too, right?
Yes, I do. Sister in Dallas.
Dallas.
In Dallas, yes.
And you just recently made a trip there, if I'm not mistaken.
To Puppersit, her beautiful little dog.
What she got?
I'm telling you what, it looks like it's a pit Great Dane mix, and it's a brindle. It's one of the most beautiful dogs I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, I know on Facebook you shared a couple pictures of it.
Yeah.
And, very beautiful. I'm a big fur baby fan, so.
So am I.
Yeah. So you're in Sierra Vista now, and you've been here for quite a few years. What are some of your hobbies? What's kind of like near and dear to your heart?
Well, first and foremost, I love playing pool and darts. Golfing, obviously, we know that.
Yeah, love to golf.
And believe it or not, I get a lot of reward satisfaction out of volunteering, kind of like you do, Mike. It's just not getting the accolade. It's not that. It's the way it makes you feel when you get something done for somebody else. It's an amazing thing.
And when you do those things, you do it without even thinking, right?
Correct.
It's like it almost comes natural. I know that's one of the things I enjoy helping out, like at the DAV and here at the Warrior Healing Center. You're right. You just get this satisfaction of helping other people that money just can't buy.
I can't go against that. That is absolutely right.
So tell us, I know that you're big with the American Legion. I've got quite a few friends that go to the American Legion, Rose and Larry Stewart and Bob and Bowie Pittman. And so I know that they're big into the Legion, and Andy Romanack and Rick Habit-Truther. I
Rick
know
and
you know all
Rachel,
those people.
absolutely.
So tell us about the American Legion Post 52, what you do there, what offices you held.
Well, I've held a couple. I'm a historian now. I was the finance officer. I was the service officer. That's a great comment there, Kathy. I like that.
Yeah, that's true. And it's so true.
Absolutely. So I've held a couple different offices. And right now it's historian. So I have a lot of time to go around and, help other officers if they need it, if I can help them.
Right.
But it's just the whole thing in general. You're sitting there and hard day at the office, and you're sitting there having a beer, and you hear somebody that needs some help, and we try and circle the wagons and make sure we can get it done either the next day or the weekend or whatever we can.
Well, since Kathy's online with us here, I overheard you guys talking this morning about some uniforms that you guys are going to be putting out on display or something. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that and tell our viewers where they can come and view these beautiful exhibits.
That's on me?
Yeah.
All right. Well, what I'm going to do today is get the measurements, and we have one of my good friends, Keith Wilson, who's local, makes some amazing display boxes and flag boxes and shadow boxes and stuff like that. So we're going to get it encased, these two uniforms, get it encased, and they will be shown or displayed here. I believe Kathy said in the...
They're building a library, like
military
a military library.
So they're going to be displayed in there.
And that'll be great. So Keith Wilson, if or when you're watching, that's for you. Thank you for what you do. I like to play with the little toys over there. I never get a chance to.
That was good timing right there.
To mess with them. So what else are you doing down at the Legion?
Well, we have a couple things that are coming up. One, we have a Saturday breakfast every Saturday.
Okay.
Open to the public, open to members and the public, of course. And it's $5. You can order everything off the menu. It's $5.
Wow.
That includes coffee. I mean, if you want to have a Bloody Mary, well, that's something different. But
right.
Your breakfast, your coffee, $5.
And what are the hours for that?
8 to 10.
8 to 10. Okay.
8 to 10, and it is home cooked. It's all the eggs are done right to order. All of that. It's not a buffet. It's anything like that. We do it all right there.
Right.
And that's
awesome.
That's really a nice thing. And we also have coming up, and I'm sorry I couldn't bring the flyers themselves, so
sure.
I got pictures to discuss.
Kathy says that it's awesome breakfast with great people.
Ah, nice. Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Veteran Transportation. It's a group that runs around town with us.
Okay. And I know the DAV does a local transportation thing. I don't know if that's anything.
And this, I just got turned on to this one, so we may want to look it up, or if we have some listeners here that want to look it up, but it's a Veteran Transportation, and it's vetsurvey.online.
So see if I can type that in. I don't know if I can. If I can't do it from here on my computer, then I'll be able to ask Kathy if she can just add that link in there.
But our service officer, our current service officer, gave me that to hopefully help out somewhere down the road. All right, so we have breakfast covered.
Yeah.
Now we also have a Halloween party coming up.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that's open to everyone as well, and that's on the 30th of October. There is going to be a DJ, 50-50 raffle, best costume, appetizers and drinks. It's open to all, and it starts at, I know I saw it here somewhere.
And that's on a Saturday, correct?
That is on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So it's 7 o'clock until close.
Okay.
And it's a $5 cover. And again, everybody's welcome. It's in the back hall. So there's no smoking back there because we separate the two when we have parties like that. So we're not, everybody's welcome in a non-smoking environment. So that's Halloween. And then our big one of the year is Thanksgiving. And what we do on that is with the very generous members that we have and the support of the community, we get a lot of donations, turkeys, hams, potatoes, whatever it is, and we put on a free Thanksgiving dinner for whoever wants to come by.
Okay.
So you can come in and sit down and eat with us. You can call ahead and order a couple and swing by our drive-through option.
So you have a drive-through option.
Absolutely. We'll bring it right out to the side of the building for you, and you can pick it up and take it on home and have a good time.
It's amazing that with the pandemic, how businesses and organizations have been able to adapt and allow people to do that. The Warrior Healing Center was doing that for a while, where people could drive in for meals. I hate the fact, though, Bill, to be honest with you, I do. I hate the fact, though, that we need to be close together. We need that interaction with people. And when you're doing the drive-through thing, yeah, it's nice. You get to say hi and all that stuff. But, man, you really miss out on the camaraderie of being with other people. Mask, if you want to wear a mask, I mean, if that makes you feel safe, by God, do it. But I tell you, I just think I want to see our country get back to where it was before the pandemic. So getting back to Thanksgiving, and Kathy has another question here. Thank you, Kathy. When do you start collecting the turkeys?
Beginning of, next week? Beginning of November?
Okay.
And honestly, anybody, if there's anybody watching or anybody that has questions that it doesn't get answered here, just call the American Legion Post 52 here local, and we have the sign-up sheets for donations, for volunteers.
Okay.
And for those that are homebound that cannot get out and about to get a plate, we do have delivery available, and that just needs to be called also. So I mean,
call in ahead of time. Call the American Legion. What's the number there? You don't have it? I can Google it. That's what I'll do. I'll Google it and I'll put it up on the.
I knew you were going to ask me, and I'm like, man, Oh wait, how about 520-459-6050?
6050.
Correct. 459-6050.
And they can call that number to sign up if they need a meal delivered.
Correct.
Awesome.
And we will do that the day of, and happily.
And I'd like to challenge our viewers here. I am going to, and I want you to hold me to this, Bill. I'm going to donate a turkey to the American Legion for Thanksgiving. So my wife and I will go down, because we do that. We take them down to the food bank, and I'll make sure to set one aside, and I'll donate that to the American Legion.
That would be amazing.
I would love for any of our viewers that if they've got the capability of buying a turkey to help feed our community. Like you said, it's not just veterans, right? It's the community.
It's anybody who wants to come down and have a meal with us. You can bring the whole family. You can bring yourself. One of us will sit there and talk with you if you don't have anybody to sit with. It's a very big day for us, and it's our time to show how much our community means to us and the support we always get. So it's one of our big deals. Hey.
He's looking around back there, isn't he? Hey there, buddy. So let's talk a little bit about the service animal that you have here. Let's talk about Wally. Put a little bit of focus on. Oh, look at that smile. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but his pearly whites are there. Tell us a little bit about Wally, how you got him, and your relationship with him. And
well, I'll tell you what, I was fortunate. He was not actually trained directly for me, but for a vet that didn't really utilize him as much as he should. But he did travel a lot. I mean, there was a lot of things like that. But he asked me if I wanted to, because we have the same basic conditions.
Okay.
So it's a very easy transition. So I was able to get Wally like that. And I'll tell you what, he is a godsend. And once we get some remedial training between him and me,
right,
it's going to be perfect.
Now, how long have you had him?
I have had him for about 2 months now.
Okay.
2.5 months.
And I know because we went out to breakfast one time, we were talking about it right after you got him, that you were going to be bringing him down here to the Warrior Healing Center for some training. Is that what you're talking about? Did you guys get to do that, or
No, not yet. I've been in and out of town.
right?
So now that I am home for a while, I'm going to get with the young lady here today
Okay.
and see if we can start the one a week.
Who is that? Do you know? You remember her name?
I don't.
No?
It's in my phone. I think Kathy does.
Kathy? If I know you're probably still watching, but I know they have a couple of different organizations that work out of here that work with and train service animals. What does Wally do for you? Is he like a emotional support? Does he do tasks for you?
PTSD. He knows when I'm getting stressed, when I'm getting to the point where I need to settle down or go away or something like that. So when he knows that I'm getting worked up, he will either jump here, but mostly he puts his paws right on my chest and will look at me. And
oh, wow.
It's hard to not
get his attention. Get your attention that way.
He's pretty amazing.
Wow.
And he's helped me out a couple times already, and we're still just at the beginning of this journey, which I'm very thrilled with.
I tell you, it's taken every ounce of my being to keep my arms up here and not wanting to reach out and love on him. But, you can't do that with service animals because they need to have that connection with their...
Down.
I don't know. I don't want to call it owner. What is is there a proper term?
I don't know. I think we're just...
Pals.
We're each other's.
You're pals.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Best of friends.
I'll go with that.
Down. Yeah.
Wally, down.
But he is such a cutie pie.
Wally, down.
So you've been doing some traveling. Tell us a little bit about that. Like you said, you went to Dallas. And when you do this traveling, do you get to take Wally with you?
The only trip I've done that I could have taken Wally was when I flew to Dallas this last time.
Okay.
But I just didn't know if he was ready for a plane.
Yeah.
Because when I take him places and, he lays down and at my feet and make sure he's good, he lays big. Big, not in a little package. So I'm not sure how we would have done on an airplane. So that, unfortunately, he didn't get to go on that one.
Well, you went to Country Thunder, right?
I did.
And were you in an RV?
In an RV with Rose and Larry.
Okay. So did you take him with you there?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Again, I just didn't know
how he would react with all the people.
The voice and with the how loud it was, and so many people, so many dogs. And being, again, we're not really in sync yet.
Right.
I just didn't want to put him into that situation.
See, and that's how you can tell there's a loving bond when you put Wally's needs before yours, knowing that you don't want to put him in, a situation where he could get hurt or harmed or something like that. So I respect that. That's, because I'm a big dog lover myself, and kudos for that.
Yeah, yep. But we'll get there where every day he's with me everywhere I go. We're gonna get that, and he already wants it.
Uh-huh.
And I take him out. Yeah. Oh yeah. Come on.
Do you do any hiking with him, or go out for any walks, or
go out on walks? Just me and I have another dog.
Uh-huh.
So the three of us go out. We do, whatever we do. If my mind lets me leave the house, let's backstep a little bit. But I try and do as much as I can with the two pups and go from there.
How do they get along?
They're buddies.
Yeah, because you had your other fur baby for quite a while, didn't you?
Yeah, I got her back in 2013, 14.
Uh-huh.
And I brought him home, and yeah, there was a little half hour of, sniffing and
right.
This is where I lay and you go over there kind of a thing, but it wasn't a half hour, 20 minutes. But
your other fur baby's not like a service dog, though, right?
Nope, she's just my buddy.
Just your baby that you love, yeah.
And that's a big dog too, big dog.
I always call them fur babies. I don't care how old they are; they're babies to me.
To me, they're always just puppers.
They always need something, They need food and water and loving and just.
Well, there's a fact right there, isn't it?
Yep. So what other things do you do? I know that you love to golf.
I do.
You did that golf tournament over What was it, last weekend?
Correct.
How was the turnout on that?
From what I remember, we were one team short of
Wow.
a full, and that's pretty impressive,
Yes.
especially with all the golf tournaments that happen in this community. It's really nice when you can follow up, like the VFW had one a month prior to us.
Okay.
And we were all concerned that, well, I don't know, if the community can afford to have two back-to-back like that. It's a big question to ask, and we were very fortunate and got a great response from everybody involved. So it really worked out, and we were able to put some money towards the projects that we do, which is anything we can for the community.
Right.
So it was an amazing turnout, and we can't thank Sierra Vista more. And we had teams come from out of town as well. So it was really great.
I noticed at the Post 52 that, because again, not only friends, but follow because they have a Facebook page. I'm pretty sure they do. I followed that. And I was reading something about a meat raffle. What's that all about?
Yeah, actually, that's it's really a lot of fun. On Sundays at 2:00, we'll start selling tickets. Excuse me.
Uh-huh.
And come 4:00, we'll start pulling tickets. Now, what happens is we'll go shopping in the morning. Generally, everything is fresh, nothing frozen, and it's meat.
Okay.
So we'll put it out on a table. If your ticket gets called, you walk up to that table and pick whatever you want, and it's yours to take home.
And how much are the tickets?
It's 6 for $5.
Six
one
tickets
for one.
Okay.
Correct. Now, if you're there from 2 to 3, for each 6 you buy, you get one free ticket, because we consider it an early bird. Okay. You're there from 2 to 3. Early bird goes away at 3. We continue 3 to 4 selling regular tickets, and then the meat raffle. And we do some auctions in there. There's generally some food sitting up there. We have the TVs on with all the football games on. It's really a great Sunday afternoon where you just don't really want to, you don't want to cook, or you just want to get out, but be in a cool place where nobody, you're going to have fun with it. Let's go that way.
Right.
It's easy.
And do they have a lot of meat that they raffle off?
Generally, when I go shopping, I try, and with the prices of everything raising so much right now, it's hard.
Oh, I know.
Because we do have a budget, obviously, of how much money we can spend a week. But generally, we like to go anywhere between 28 and 34 packages of meat, which is pretty impressive. If you get 35 people in there and there's 35 pieces of meat, well, everybody
has a chance.
Exactly. To at least walk with one.
Right.
But again, the tickets determine the...
They get a pretty good turnout?
It's been a little bit slow here the last couple of weeks, but generally, yeah. We have almost...
If you're watching, tell them. Come on down.
Please do. Come and talk to me. I will sign you in.
Yeah.
And make sure you meet everybody and get you into the right place.
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday during football.
Yeah.
All right, so come down and see me, and I'll give you the tour.
That's great. So, is there anything else going on that you'd like to share, or what you've been doing, or anything? Or
I'm just like a lot of veterans. I'm trying to get my disability adjusted,
right,
through the VA, and that we all know that's a very long and painful process.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that right now, and just enjoying being retired, to tell you the truth.
And the fact that you could travel when you want to, and
I'm very fortunate, and do that as Kathy said. What'd she call it? The therapy, the windshield therapy.
And I know I don't have to tell you this, or I'm going to remind you, but you got a lot of friends. I know that for a fact. A lot of people love you and care about you. And I tell you, you definitely are fortunate and blessed to have, I believe, those people in your life,
I agree. I'm very fortunate.
Windshield Therapy is the best, Kathy.
Either that or, there it is. Either that or ink therapy. Go both ways on that one. See that? Yep.
Yep. You got quite a few, huh?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
They got any stories behind them?
Everyone.
Everyone has a story.
Everyone has a story. There's not one you're going to find that I can't tell you why or who or the reason I have it.
And Bill is a very likable, very approachable guy if you don't know him. So if you do see him at the American Legion, or you happen to catch him over here at the Warrior Healing Center or just around town, go up to him and say hi. Say, hey, I saw you on a live stream and I just wanted to, maybe shake your hand or say thank you or just get to know you, whatever the case may be. I mean, that's one of the things I love about doing these interviews is when the people see them, it gets them to know other veterans in our community and what they do and kind of open up so that people have an idea. Veterans care about this community. We do.
Deeply, without a doubt.
Well, Bill, I can't thank you enough for coming down and sharing with us your stories and your dogs. And, my dad joined. Hey, Pops, what's going on? That's my dad. Said I'll be seeing him when I move down there. My dad's a member of the Sons of the Legion.
Oh, that's great. I'm a Legionnaire as well as a Sons of the Legion. So you'll definitely be seeing me. Looking forward to it.
All right. Well, thank you so much again. I appreciate it.
I'm glad it finally happened after
finally
some
got
delays.
This together and got it done. And our video didn't cut out on us like it did last week. Yay.
Nice.
So resetting the system before we went live did work because I had Joshua Meyer on last week, and about halfway through the interview, we turned into a podcast.
Well, it happens, right?
It happens, and we rolled with it. So, all right. Well, thanks again, Michael Zehr here, and Bill McCutcheon, again from the Rising Eagle Studios here at the Warrior Healing Center. Thank you so much for joining us. You guys have a great day, and God bless. Bye.